prime pec reverse delt. It's the one everybody says is the GOAT. I would agree. I love this piece. It's really sick. Even change the range of motion to be quite far back, which might require a little bit of something like this, but you'll never really bottom out like this for pec fly. But the thing that people run into with this unit is I think they actually end up maxing out the stack. I think because the cam is quite small, it's just like this little small unit up here. It's almost like this size, which is, you know, less than half the size of, probably like a third of the size of the normal cam. So it almost looks like the Evo cam, but without, you know, the cabling tricks to actually make the stack feel heavier. So because of that, people tend to bottom out on it. Okay. Yeah, my pec isn't really strong. I am at 175 out of 365. I don't know, I probably wouldn't max this out, but I'd probably get to like the 200s, something like that for reps for this thing. But it feels great. I love that you can change the cam, of course. That's like the main benefit of getting these prime pieces. And then these range of motions, it's like way more than enough than what I need. Obviously I could mod this piece as well, but I don't think I would because the settings are like far more than enough. And it's like, can't really think of any other exercises where I would need it to be, you know, more. And then there's the reverse delt, the rear delt movement that the boys like to do as well. But this is the typical tech I think that people do on this. What do you do, bilateral? Not bilateral, it's isolateral technically, but two-handed isolateral. But I know if you want even more stretch for the reverse delt, the rear delt, then a lot of guys like to tilt their body sideways like this, kind of brace against the pad, and do a pull around like this to get full range of motion. And you can really feel the cam effect amplified a lot when you do this full motion because you're doing basically 180 degrees versus just 90 degrees of motion. So you go through like the full, almost like 180 degrees on the cam, basically. So you're feeling the full drop off if you have it in, you know, 3 or 5 settings, or you'll feel like the full ramp up if you have it in the 2 setting. Let's try it. How would you grab this like this? Oh God. Oh wow. Feels pretty crazy. Feels great for reverse delt on this. It gets heavier like right here. Then I feel like a little drop off at the right there. Drop off at the end. Ooh, baby. Do 4. The only thing is this, the cam is meant to do 90 degrees of motion. So like when you do a pec fly from here to here, when you do a reverse delt, you go from here to here, 90 degrees of motion. Since now you're hacking the machine to do 180 degrees of motion, you feel the intended cam effect from obviously 0 to 90. And then from 90 onwards, it's basically like a drop off. So I guess if you want it to be heavier at the end, I don't think you really can, because it'll just drop off. Let's see if the 3, yeah, it'll just, oh, I guess the 3 actually kind of, yeah, actually the funny thing is the 3 setting, which would be heavier at the beginning, it's heaviest at the beginning right here, and then it drops off like right here at the end obviously, and then it ramps back up because it hits the tail end of the cam that is another peak. So it's like a bimodal distribution, beginning and end. Whereas if you do like the 2 setting, which is supposed to be heaviest at the end, it's like light at the beginning, heavy at the mid, because this is supposed to be the end normally, and then light again at the very end. So a single, almost like a standard deviation peak, you know. Kind of cool, but something that you have to think about if you're gonna do this 180 degree version of the reverse delt. Yeah, you just have to look at the cam basically, and the camshaft. Since the cam itself is pretty oval shaped, like an egg shape, like this, camshaft's somewhere like towards the bottom, at the very beginning, with like the 3 setting, it'll be heaviest, and then it'll drop off in the, you know, the end, which is like technically the middle of the cam, and then it'll peak again at the very bottom, so at the 180 degrees. Yeah, that's cool. I like this machine. Let's try 1. And this is obviously like all these Prime machines, they're, you know, remakes of the Strive. It's not like the same original company. It's, you know, Strive went out of business or whatever. Prime, which is like specialty fitness systems, they bought the IP and the factory or whatever, and the workers, engineers, and they kind of just transitioned over to doing Prime. So they have all the old IP, but they changed this one, the pec rear delt. And in my opinion, it changed it for the better by a lot. So one thing with the OG Strive is that it's way grittier feeling, way heavier. The cam effect is lessened by quite a lot. And the construction of it is worse, in my opinion. At the very top, they have the wires, the cables crossing over at the top in the front and rubbing up against each other. It's fucked up. It's like, yeah, it's not a great design in my opinion. So Prime, they fixed it in my opinion. Like, it's kind of night and day. The Strive one is, to me, it's no, it's not good. It's not terrible, but it's not like this good. Not even close. Just me though. But yeah, I really like this piece. I guess the only other thing I could say is that a lot of people enjoy roller pads, driving with their elbows, singular joint driving, you know, just driving with your shoulder joint versus, you know, a grip where you're driving with both your shoulder, your elbow, and then also your wrist. So 3 joints that need to stabilize to like do this motion. So maybe some people will, you know, put the handles on their inside of their wrist, below the wrist, and just drive. So now it's a dual jointed exercise like this. But it's not the most comfortable thing on your forearm as well. or they'll put like some type of like, you know, handle here. Obviously not this one, but like some type of handle. They wrap it around here, and then they, you know, they pull with that, you know, on their wrist or whatever. Different ways of doing it. Yeah, you could do this unilateral like this. It's just that when you come out to here, your body wants to obviously like fall this way. So you really gotta like grab onto the pad or grab onto the frame really well to brace yourself. But technically, yeah, you could do it unilaterally like this. Or how my friends do it, unilaterally like this, which obviously this causes a lot of torque, which makes your body want to twist over as well. You get to do the same thing, brace with both your feet and, you know, by grabbing the pad. Obviously I'm not great at this tech. Like, I've never owned this machine, so, but learning to do it's kind of cool. Cool stuff, man. Super smooth, super nice.